Pat Stevens, good morning.
Good morning to you, Mr. Bruno, and to all the listeners
And a special
on radio, television, and internet.
Special good morning to you too, and congratulations to your family. Your dad would have been 100 years today.
Oh yes, that's a fact. I remembered my father. He was born 100 years ago today on Palm Sunday, 1905. He became a pupil teacher in 1921 on the 1st of September when he began teaching at Wesley under the training of his father-in-law, Mr. N.E.B. Watty. And after 3 years of teaching and topping the list in the Leeward Islands, we were then part of the Leeward Islands, he was sent to Codrington College in Barbados, and where he excelled. And he came back here as a trained teacher and served as an assistant teacher to Mr. Georges at the Rosa Boys School before sent to Marigot at a very early age at 24, about 25 years, to be principal of the Marigot Government School, taking over from Mr. A.E. Clean, father of Mrs. Bernie Didi. And he taught for a number of years before he went to Trinidad, and after he came back from Trinidad, was made Education Officer North, and Mr. Lewis was, S.G. Lewis was South, and there was Miss Western, who was on the Western District. And he moved from Education Officer, he retired as Education Officer in 1960, from 1921 to 1960, joined the Labour Party, and ran for the elections in 1961 with Mr. Libler and Mr. Ducree and Mr. L.C. Didier, and were one of the 4 ministers. His particular ministry had to deal with education and health, and it was called Labour and Social Services at the time. Till he served as a minister for 10 years, and then on the opposition for the remaining 3 years of his term of office. So he served about 13 years when he retired as a member of Parliament. So he had a very long period of his whole life, for 39 years plus 10 years plus, well, put it 13 years, quite a long time in education. And the school at Marigot was renamed from Ware School by the Edison James administration, the Will Strathmore Stevens School.
Did I hear you say he served in government and opposition in one term? Is that what?
Yeah, no. What happened in the year 1970? There was a split of the Labour Party, and after running for that election, he won his seat, but he served just for 3 years in the opposition. Libler had the Libler Labour Party at the time, discipline and so on, and always speak the truth. These were the last words he said to me. That was a Saturday afternoon. He never said a word again until he passed away on Tuesday.
And these words remain true up until this day.
Well, that is for you all to find out.
You live in the shadow of W.S.
Yes, I succeeded him in 1973 from the by-election. So he served 13 years and I did 17, and together we contributed 30 years in the constituency.
That's a remarkable feat, Brother Stevens, and you do.
And in those days, I'm just ending, we had to deal with from the northern part of Bataka, that's Atkinson, right back to Calabishi, which is now served by Mr. Grano, Mr. James, Mr. Peter Carbon, and Mr. Walter Matthew.
So 4 men served the area that you and your daddy would have served single-handedly.
Single-handedly. And there was no bridge over the Hatton Garden River.
We shall have a more in-depth and detailed interview about this.
And may his soul rest with you. He has impacted on my life. Yes. And he kept me straight before death and after death.
Okay. It is a pity you do not have a son to hand the mat low.
I have a son, but he said, Daddy, I'm not getting involved in politics. He's in America. He's in the States.
I wanted you to say that, and I wanted to ask you exactly why didn't your son follow your footsteps?
Well, he felt that there was too much involved. He saw there was so much, said too much mepui and all that kind of thing. He wouldn't be able to stand all that sort of thing. Because especially one thing they could have said about me, particularly particularly. They never said I was dishonest. They never said I never spoke the truth or anything of those sorts. What they said is that Pat is blind, and I'm not responsible for my physical handicap. God knows best.
If only I had some time, Pat, I would ask you why it is that your father seemed to have been of another philosophical grouping than you were when you ran. But we don't have time to discuss all of this because you ran Labour and I believe you ran Independence and then Freedom. But we have no time for that this morning. We will discuss it maybe some other time.
Well, that's just because of the problems with PG and his troop. That's why I moved over to the Freedom Party.
We'll deal with that some other time, Pat.
Okay.
Take care and thanks for the call.
Right.
God bless you, Pat.
Thank you.
All right.